Hello and good morning, LinkedIn Connections. Cian here from McCarty Analytics. Today we're back with another video in our series on data-driven decision making. As you can see on the screen in front of me, we've already built several visuals for our first dashboard view. If this is the first video you're tuning into, please go back on my LinkedIn profile and watch the other ones to get you to this point. But for today, we're going to be focusing on a new type of chart. We're going to be using a pie chart. So we're going to pull that over. And again, all of the visuals, the process for designing them is the same. So we're going to visualize our sales amount, which is going to be our values in this case. And then our legend is going to be what product is most popular. We can now see an overview of what is our most popular product. So again, sales amount by product, we're going to leave it as, we're going to put it into the middle here. Now that we have our pie chart put into our dashboard, we've got one more space for another visual here. And even this page is getting crowded. There's a lot of information here. It's not an ideal situation for a dashboard, but we'll go back through all of the design principles once we have some more of our visuals built. I think a relevant metric here would be something like a scatterplot. So we're going to put in a scatterplot. A scatterplot needs two continuous values. If you heard me earlier on in this series talking about different types of data, you've got categorical and you've got continuous. So we have got two continuous values in this case, and we're going to look at two relevant metrics, which would be our sales amount and then our customer acquisition cost. So we're going to see, is there a correlation between these values? We need to come to our visualizations pane here, and we're going to have to select don't summarize, otherwise it's going to give us one data point, which is not what we need at all. We need multiple data points. Again, we're going to not summarize the sales amount too, so that we can see if there's any sort of a trend. Now that we have our data non-summarized, we can actually use these buttons at the top as well. So we can go to a filter, we can go to focus mode, or we can go to more options. In this case, we're going to go to our focus mode button here, and it's going to open up our visual in a much bigger window so that we can have a better look at it. Now what we're looking for here is trends based on the information that's visualized, but it doesn't really look like there is a lot of trends. Obviously we can identify people that are at the far end of the spectrum in either case, but again, there isn't any real trend to take into account here. There isn't a lot of correlations between the two. That's not to say that that won't change once we actually filter some of the information, which we're going to go on to in our next videos. But now we've got all of our data visualized. Hopefully you've got a good idea of building visuals in Power BI and how it's done, working with different data types, setting targets, and just visualizing your information in an effective way. That's it for another video. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope everyone is enjoying this series. Any questions, just send them through to me on LinkedIn. You can get my email or my WhatsApp in my contact info on my profile as well. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.